The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene alongside, as always, Brian Haynes here as well. The NFL draft coverage went well over the first 3 days, or all 3 days of the coverage over the weekend. And we haven't really had a time to sit back and just enjoy the abuse that's being heaped on the big ginger here. So today we are going to go on the Troll Patrol. It's Troll Patrol time here in the Sportsocracy. Look, we appreciate all of the comments that we get. We don't care if you're mean, if you're nasty, whatever. We want this to be an open line of communication where you can feel like you can be yourself.
I'm going to be honest with you. I've been divorced twice, and I've been fat since I was a kid. You can't hurt my feelings because I don't have any.
So we have gone through and we have compiled some of the best comments from the draft coverage, the draft videos that we have posted out as well.
Well, they're not necessarily the best.
Well,
some of them bring up really logical points, and some of them are just funny. So usually somebody answers our YouTube comments. Yeah. For the draft, we decided that it would be a good idea if the comedian answered the comments. And I discovered quickly this was probably an error in judgment because I'm not the nicest human that you ever met in your life, and I love to troll right back.
Right.
Made some new friends, though.
See, that's what we're all about. Just three dudes hanging out, talking sports, making some new friends, which is you. And we thank everybody that has commented, interacted with us in some shape, form, or fashion. Everybody who subscribed to the channel as well and shared out all the videos to get your friends to join the Sportsocracy community as well.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. This is what this show's based on. This is basically three dudes just talking sports sitting at a bar. We're not former players. We don't have, any of that. We didn't play in the NFL. We watch a lot of NFL, and we like to make jokes at other people's expense.
Yes.
So I welcome trolls. You feel free to at Jay Greene on ESPN or at Jay Greene ESPN on Twitter, if I can say that correctly.
Yeah.
You feel free to say anything to me you want to. I'll respond to you.
Yeah, we really don't care. You can call us all the names in the book. Just know that there's a good chance moving forward that said trolls might be put on screen and attacked viciously.
Yeah.
Just learn punctuation. It's just a fucking comma, bro. Just use a comma or a semicolon. As a matter of fact, I don't even need you to use the semicolon. That's too hard to understand. Periods between the thoughts helps a lot.
We've been fighting this battle for a long time. We've all lost the internet punctuation grammar battle. We all realize that. So we'll try our best to sift our way through and make sense of what sometimes can
It's going to be pretty awesome.
The nonsensical.
Yeah.
So starting off here, let's see. You want to start with Tucson Christian Ministries?
This was my favorite. This one was my favorite.
Tucson Christian Ministries comes in with C- is very harsh, and everything he said about Mac Jones is spoken from a hater and not from a person who knows football. Mac Jones is the picture of an average quarterback, in quotation marks. That is a huge lie. Idiot. Mac Jones just had possibly the best season of any college quarterback. He broke the two most important quarterback records. 1, accuracy, 77% completion rate. 2, QBR, 96.4. Average quarterbacks do not go undefeated and win the national championship playing the toughest schedule in football. So 4,500 yards with only 4 interceptions is average? Stop lying.
First of all, I do the irony that Tucson Christian Ministries called me an idiot 2 times. It's not lost on me.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
And it made me laugh a lot. Would you like me to tell you whose record he just beat? He's talking about the completion percentage.
Yeah. Completion percentage.
Colt McCoy. That's who you beat.
Nice.
I'm not saying he wasn't a great college quarterback. Let's just go through the list of other guys that are on this list, shall we?
Oh, yeah.
Joe Burrow's at 3. I'll give you that.
There you
Joe
go.
Burrow's number 3. Here's the next, I don't know till I get tired of reading them. Kellen Moore, Dante Culpepper, Stephon LaFours, Zach Wilson, the new Jets quarterback. Dan Persa, Dustin Crum, Dan Persa again, Jack Abram, Tyler Huntley, Scott Tolzien, Chase Daniel, Russell Wilson, Colt Brennan, Wes Counts, David Fales, Riley Skinner, Brandon Whedon. What does that list have in common?
A whole bunch of those dudes are trash.
A whole bunch of those dudes didn't do shit in the NFL.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't do shit.
Was that a Colt Brennan sighting?
Yeah, that's a Colt Brennan sighting.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's Hawaii fighting Wahoo.
Hey, Caleb.
Oh, yeah.
You have to get back on all 3 of us. You stared at me for a minute. Yeah.
He's entrenched in how
I
awesome
mean,
this
here's
is.
the thing.
Yeah.
That's all well and good. If you want to call me an idiot, more power to you. If your excuse is, look how good he was in college. Yeah, how great of a quarterback was Tim Tebow.
Right.
What about Chris Leak? I mean, I keep doing this. Every Boise State quarterback ever.
Yeah.
Every Hawaii quarterback ever.
Yeah.
Texas Tech.
To me, that is the most flawed logic in the history of time. Now, let me ask you one more question, Tucson Christian Ministries. I'm just going to keep bringing that up because of how funny I think it is that you decided to use that YouTube account to call me an idiot.
Yeah.
Throwing that out there. We've laughed about this for a series of days now.
Yeah.
So, in theory, do you think Mac Jones is ever going to have a set of receivers like he just threw to at Alabama? Ever?
That's gonna
Jalen
be
Waddle,
no.
Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs. He actually didn't even throw to Henry Ruggs. John Mechie. Yeah, you think he's going to have that in the NFL? Because you know what all those guys have in common? They're all first-rounders. Mm-hmm. Every one of them. How many first-rounders is he going to throw to in New England?
None.
That's going to be zero.
Zero.
Right, because you look at who he's got to throw to this year, and he's got a whole lot of N'Keal Harry, Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, that's one first
One
round
first-rounder. Nelson Aguilar was a first-rounder 6 years ago.
Harry was,
N'Keal
too.
Harry as well.
N'Keal Harry shouldn't have been. You're right. If you're comparing N'Keal Harry to Jerry Jeudy, one of these things is not like the others. One of these things just doesn't belong.
Then you can call us an idiot because we don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it to you if you look at it and go, yeah, I feel really good about Mac Jones. You remember that thing I said about the 5th quarterback drafted in every draft class for the last 20 years?
Yeah.
Do you know why? There's a very simple reason why. Because there's drawbacks to the 5th quarterback in the draft. If there wasn't, they would have gone higher than that. The Denver Broncos looked right at Mac Jones and went, we're good with Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater.
Yep.
Should tell you everything you need to know. I'm not telling you he's going to be god-awful. I'm saying he's going to be the definition of average. If you think there's any path, let's play a fun game.
Yep.
2020 QBR.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's just go with QBR rankings.
Okay.
Since that was used at me.
Yeah.
We'll go with total QBR in 2020.
Yeah.
You tell me which one of these quarterbacks you think Mac Jones could ever, in his wildest imagination, be better than.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Josh Allen, Ryan Tannehill, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Drew Brees, Lamar Jackson, Russell Wilson, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, Derek Carr, Deshaun Watson, Justin Herbert, Kyler Murray, Matthew Stafford, Matt Ryan, Teddy Bridgewater. Found one.
Yeah.
I found one.
Teddy Bridgewater.
Hey, there was another in there in Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's 2 of the top 17.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know who's still not in that? Kirk Cousins, Phillip Rivers, Daniel Jones, Ben Roethlisberger, Jared Goff, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Carson Wentz.
He's
not better than any guy I just said, and he never will be.
I'd lump Ryan Tannehill in that class too.
Ryan Tannehill was 3rd. Or 4th. I lied. He was 4th.
I could see Mac Jones having a Ryan Tannehill-ish kind of career.
I can't. I don't see it.
Really?
Because Ryan Tannehill's in the perfect system. And I'll say this. I think Mac Jones is in the perfect system for what he's trying to do.
Yep.
However, he doesn't do anything overly well. You're behind a line of 5 guys that are going to get drafted in the NFL.
Right.
Alex Leatherwood, Deontay Brown, Landon Dickerson. Yeah, you know what they all have in common? They all got drafted.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And you're playing against a bunch of guys that weren't. Fun stat about Mac Jones. You know how many yards he had that were receiver-determined yards? That's a Pro Football Focus stat that basically what it means is that any quarterback in the world could have made it happen because the receiver is so damn open that all they have to do is catch it.
Oh, I'd have to imagine that's a very high stat.
800. 800 of his 4,500 yards were by receivers that were so open, they think the three of us could have made the throw.
Yeah.
I'm not telling you he's going to be bad. I said that from the jump.
Yeah.
He has the highest floor of any quarterback in this class. He also has the lowest ceiling, and it's not even fucking close.
Yeah.
Because, all right, let's play a fun game. 5 quarterbacks that got drafted. Who has the weakest arm?
Mac Jones.
Not even close. It's Mac Jones. Who has the fewest wow plays?
Got to be Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Who played with the best talent?
I see where you're going with
Mac
this.
Jones.
Yeah. It's exactly where every scout went. Because there's another one that you can see on the screen. We're not going to take the time to read that one because it's
long.
super long. There's been a lot of, oh, you're a Jets fan. You're just a hater. Cool. That tells me you've watched exactly one video we've ever produced ever.
Yeah.
Because what team did I basically blow for 5 months?
The Buffalo Bills.
The Buffalo Bills,
Yeah.
who I hate equivalently to the New England Patriots. 100%. You know what New England's good for? My career. Because it's real good when New England is relevant.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fans in New England. A lot of guys did not jump the ship when Tom Brady left. I want New England to be good. I do. I want to beat New England as a Jets fan. But my evaluation of them has nothing to do with the fact I'm a Jets fan.
Yeah.
I've kissed the Dolphins' ass for 2 years. We'll get to the Dolphins in a minute because they're fans. They have some similar takes.
Yeah. And it's funny because you talked about it being the 5th quarterback. The metric that we actually went by and we talked about it was actually the 4th quarterback drafted is actually
No, I said the 5th. No, that was the 5th. It was the 5th quarterback in every draft class. Because there had never been 4. There have been 4 taken in the top 10. There had never been 5.
Yeah.
What I was doing was the 5th.
Okay. Yeah, so that's pretty bad.
I mean, it's just you're expecting him to be. All right, the best on that list was Derek Carr. Is there a path where Mac Jones is better than Derek Carr? The answer's no. The answer's no, and it's not even really that fucking close. There's no path to Mac Jones being better than Derek Carr. What can he be? He can be a really high-level Rex Grossman, who went to a Super Bowl, by the way.
Yeah.
Where he just doesn't turn the ball over and everything around him. He's going to be so cheap for so long that you can just put shit around him. That's what he can do. And if you want to say that the fact I'm saying this is because he was drafted by the Patriots, how many times did I say this about Mac Jones? I killed the 49ers for trading up because they were going to take Mac Jones.
Yep.
I never believed it until one day that I think I got drunk in the morning and I bought into it.
Right.
I always said, you didn't trade up for a quarterback this limited. It doesn't make any sense. I don't give a fuck where he landed. And do I like it better because his weapons in New England suck? Sorry, it's just the way it is. You got the 3rd receiver in Oakland, the 3rd receiver in San Francisco.
Yep.
Not exactly juggernaut offenses, by the way. And you got 2 tight ends that neither one's ever had an 800-yard season. And that's what I'm supposed to feel all warm and fuzzy about? Okay.
But what is
I don't.
But what is it about Derek Carr that you love so much?
That he's underrated as hell. And because people like you do what you just did and go, he could be that good. No, the hell he couldn't. Derek Carr's got 10 times the arm Mac Jones ever could dream of having. Mac Jones could get arrested, do 10 years in prison, and his arm would never be as strong as Derek Carr's is. Straight up. It's just not going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, is there something to be said about the fact that in the Josh McDaniels system, typically throwing the ball over the top is not what they're normally going for?
Absolutely.
Could he at least succeed enough in this league to where we're looking back at this 3 years down the road? Is it just basically going to say he's a system quarterback, or is that pretty much his ceiling is a system quarterback? Am I saying that right?
That's his ceiling.
Yeah.
That's his ceiling because he's physically limited.
Yeah.
And people made it out to be a mobility thing. I don't care if he's wearing concrete shoes. If he's got a rocket arm, I love Matthew Stafford. He real mobile?
No.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I mean, there's been a lot of quarterbacks over the years that aren't mobile. It's not the fact that he's slow. I could care less. I don't necessarily want you to run. If you watch more than 5 seconds of anything I've ever said,
Yeah.
that's one of the things I ding Justin Fields on,
Yeah.
is that he likes to run too much, and I think he's going to get killed. My problem with Mac Jones is I just don't see an upside. I don't care where it is.
Well, I mean, it's not like he never made down-the-field throws. He had lots of down-the-field throws at Alabama. And I get it that their wide receivers were wide open at the point. So you're saying he can't make down-the-field contested throws?
Correct.
Okay.
His arm is, I mean, do you remember the pro day?
Yeah.
Do you remember the pro day where the receiver has to slow down to catch the deep ball?
Yeah.
That's against air in a bubble. He's going to New England. He's going to be in Boston in December. You ever been to Boston in December? I mean, other than the fact that there's an aggressive amount of people that tell you to go fuck yourself, it's really cold.
Yeah, he probably needs to call Tom Brady and find out how exactly do you deflate those footballs enough to be able to get those perfectly thrown into a receiver's hands. I mean, it would be the first call.
I always thought the marriage between Mac Jones and New England was perfect because they have been, they chew their way down the field.
Yeah.
It's not so much, as you said, an over-the-top kind of an offense.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of weapons. When I saw what Bill was building this offseason with these receivers, it's a whole lot of receivers that can come over the middle and come and make short catches. Because he knows he has a limited quarterback in Cam Newton.
Right.
And Mac Jones fitting into this, just being able to use his 77% accuracy in college to be able to, I mean, that's one of the things that I love the most about a college quarterback coming out is his accuracy.
Let me ask you a question about Mac Jones.
Okay.
Average drop back at Alabama was how long?
He probably had 5-6 seconds, right?
Oh, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Nobody has that long.
3.5.
2.5.
2.5.
2.5 seconds. They threw a lot. I mean, there were a lot of quick timing throws in that offense, too, which means a lot of the dropbacks he had all day. He ain't going to have all day in New England. It's not going to happen. I mean, I want you to think about what he's contending against in just the division. The Dolphins, who just drafted Jalen Phillips.
Right.
The Bills, who just drafted Greg Rousseau and Carlos Basham and have Ed Oliver and have Jerry Hughes and have Mario Addison. The Jets, who have Quinnen Williams, just signed Carl Lawson, just added all of these pieces to the defense. You know what I can tell you those three teams are going to do? Not give you 2.5 seconds average duration of drop back. Because, see, that counts in the screens that are 0.4 of a second. So that means his average deep drop back was probably closer to 3.2. You're not getting that in the NFL. Big time throw rate.
And I think
I want you to think about what I'm going to say. With 3 receivers that are going in the first round of the NFL draft, his big-time throw rate was 7.4%.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah. And there's something it's going to be a little weird, I guess. The offenses that you're going to run in New England are going to be completely separate for Cam Newton and for Mac Jones. So that's not like they're going to, if he's getting second-team reps, but he's going to be doing second-team reps running the offense that's more designed around Cam Newton. I think that's also going to kind of stunt a bit of development and for what he's going towards in the future. To me, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to do because it's almost like me. They're just going to maybe just say, Cam, you're going to be our backup quarterback. And
Cam's not going to be the backup. Yeah. If Mac Jones wins his job out of camp, bye, Cam.
Yeah.
See ya. Jarrett Stidham will be his backup.
Okay.
Because you're not going to risk a personality like that. And why would you want to pay him? First of all, the schemes will be completely different.
Yeah.
That's another part of this I really didn't understand.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I think Mac Jones is in the best situation for him to possibly succeed.
Right.
Because Bill Belichick is a smart coach. Josh McDaniels is a good offensive coordinator. And they're going to build this offense for him.
Yeah.
Bingo.
I'll be honest with you. The pieces they added make a lot more sense for Mac Jones than they ever did for Cam Newton.
Okay.
So, I mean, I get it. I think you're in the best position to succeed. I just think your ceiling is really low, and it has not much to do with where you landed. It's not a bias from me.
Yeah.
I love trolling the trolls. Stephen Tao says you can get Walmart employees at skill positions when Tom Brady is the quarterback. You
can't.
I think it's supposed to be you can't get a Walmart employee for a quarterback and succeed.
Bingo.
Yeah. Ring the bell.
I think Mac Jones is a little better than the Walmart employee, but when you compare him to the rest of the quarterbacks and the amazing talent that they have in the NFL, that's a fair that's a fair statement.
The next troll.
Fair comparison.
Let's see
In between them, we gotta have the good.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Yes.
Moving on with the troll patrol here.
Oh
All right, let's go to War Master. War Master says the Colts Super Bowl contenders. Ha 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 ha. Did I do enough ha's?
That's way entirely too many.
Carson Wentz. Sorry, it cut it off on my screen.
The guy is
says
trash.
the guy is trash. The Titans have a better squad and will win that division next year. Agree to disagree.
Okay, there's two things that we have to break this into two pieces.
Yeah.
One, is Carson Wentz trash? Yes or no?
No.
The other thing we have to break it into is, do the Titans have a better roster, and are they going to win the division? I'm going to say no to both.
I'm going to say one, definitely not. Carson Wentz definitely is better than Ryan Tannehill. Well, yes. Okay.
For the situation.
For the situation we're talking about right now. Titans are definitely not better than the Colts. You have zero idea what's going on with that team.
Roster top to bottom.
Yeah.
Roster top to bottom, the Colts are better.
Yep.
And the Colts have more high-end players. Now, I think it's close.
Yeah.
I don't think this is a ludicrous statement.
No.
I think the Carson Wentz is trash is a ludicrous statement. Because, and you know why I think it's such a ludicrous statement? If there's any team in the NFL that should realize the quarterback sometimes just needs a change of scenery and needs to be away from, I don't know, a dumbass offensive coordinator, head coach, guy calling the plays, sound familiar? Ryan Tannehill getting away from Adam Gase? You're a quarterback? Does that sound familiar?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's going to be it right there.
I mean, it's mind-boggling to me. The last legitimate squad that Carson Wentz had around him, the last full season he played, he would have been the MVP, but he blew his knee out at the goal line against the Chargers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%, there's no doubt he would have been the MVP of the NFL if he had just played the last 3 games.
The whole Carson Wentz is trash thing it's been overblown because it's recency bias.
Yeah.
We all get caught into this as football fans. Recency bias. What have we seen lately? What have you done for me lately? Carson Wentz was absolute trash this past year. We can all agree on that.
Past year.
But he's the one quarterback that in the league that I give the most credence to the argument of, oh, look at his weapons. We all had this discussion about Cam Newton. Cam Newton, New England didn't have a good year. Cam Newton didn't have a good year. Oh, well, no, he didn't have any weapons. Okay. Why are you not giving Carson Wentz the same benefit of the doubt?
There you go.
Carson Wentz needs the same benefit of the doubt. He had a completely injured offensive and aging line in front of him.
Yeah.
His
Bad.
protection
You said
was
bad wrong?
god awful. I'm trying to be nice here.
I'm not.
His weapons were disgusting.
Terrible.
I mean, the
Absolutely
whole
bad.
Alshon Jeffrey experiment never happened in Philadelphia.
Oh,
it
God.
worked out for 3 games, and then that was over. Jalen Reagor. I mean, we found out yesterday that
I was
for
just
God's
gonna
sake,
say,
Howie
oh my
Roseman.
God.
Howie Roseman said yesterday. We said this on the ESPN Asheville show yesterday. I feel like it needs to come out on this
Yes.
show. Howie Roseman said yesterday in an interview with ESPN that last year when they were in the draft room, the scouts had on the board for them to take in the first and second rounds Justin Jefferson and Jeremy Chin. Those were the guys. I think Chase Young actually won Defensive Rookie of the Year, but Jeremy Chin would have been was second in the voting. It was super close. So they had the offensive and almost the defensive rookies of the year pointed out in the scouting department, and no. Old Howie Roseman decided, you know what, I'm going to go get my guys. And he took Jalen Reagor, who was a guy that we didn't really like anything on other than the speed coming into last year's draft. And then he took Jalen Hurts in the second round.
Boo.
This is the organization that Carson Wentz has just come from. I get he threw bad picks. I get that he doesn't hold on to the ball all that well. The only other quarterback in the entire NFL that fumbles the ball more is Daniel Jones with the New York Giants.
Yep. I'll take that as a personal attack.
You shouldn't. It's just facts. Facts don't care about your feelings.
Dang. Whoa.
That might be my favorite line Tank Spencer's ever said. That's my shit.
Yeah.
You been looking at my screen, motherfucker?
No, but it's the truth. I mean, I have seen all of the holes, yes, as everyone else has in Carson Wentz. But we've also seen really, really good come out of Carson Wentz.
Yeah.
He was no doubt going to be the MVP before he blew his leg out in that Super Bowl year.
And they've done nothing since then
Absolutely
to help
nothing.
them out
That entire organization has dissolved and crumbled down like Pompeii.
Ooh, pick me, teacher, pick me.
Yes.
I got something you might want to consider. Before last year, which was an absolute abject disaster, what's the lowest that Carson Wentz had ever been rated in terms of Pro Football Focus grades? Ever.
Oh,
like
he's been as high as 6.
His actual rating number or what he ranked?
His actual ranking number. With that god-awful set of receivers he's always had.
11.
14. He was 14th twice out of 37 and 38 qualifying quarterbacks. No, that's taken out his rookie year because he only played part of it. Yeah, that's okay. I mean, you want to take I'm assuming you don't understand how the stock market works. Of you buy low and you sell high. Well, Carson Wentz is the greatest buy low target I think I've ever seen in terms of quarterback.
No doubt.
And I want to talk about how, like, what's really funny to me is how does Howie Roseman have a job today when that comes out? Because you just said to everybody, you don't name players like that you're supposed to draft. You just literally got yourself fired. That's how freaking stupid that man is.
Yeah.
He just told the world, yeah, we could have had Justin Jefferson and Jeremy Chin, but instead we got Jalen Reagor and Jalen Hurts because that's the guys I wanted.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he also came out and told you the reason everything that happened with that when that Twitter came out and all that stuff was because he basically said that he takes things into consideration from all the scouting departments and then makes his own GM board.
Yep.
He is fired.
Oh, by the way, Stephen Tao asked, who liked his comment?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I like every negative comment.
Yeah, and then
I comment on them. And usually and usually I try my best to be nice.
Yeah.
Doesn't always work for an NG, and you're going to see a couple here in a minute that it didn't necessarily work.
Right, but still on the Carson Wentz thing, he goes to the Indianapolis Colts. He famously reunites with Frank Reich, who was the offensive coordinator that Super Bowl MVP would have been year. You honestly don't believe that Carson Wentz is going to play better being in an organization that respects him, protects him, and gives him better weapons to work with. You're trying to tell me that anything on that Philadelphia offense is up to snuff of what Indianapolis has right now. I'm going to disagree.
I think Tennessee's markedly closer to Indianapolis than y'all do. I think this is probably the most contested division in the NFL.
And I don't disagree with that. The Tennessee Titans, I didn't think it was going to work. I didn't think you could have more than, one hot stretch with Derrick Henry running everybody over and Ryan Tannehill just being the guy who gets it done somehow, some way. Doesn't have to be flashy. He just finds his receivers, makes plays, and, runs play action like nobody's business.
Yeah,
he's getting the job done in Tennessee. I don't hate Tennessee at all, but I think Indianapolis and that defense is going to be the difference maker in this division.
I'd be a little remiss if I didn't mention, because the comments are on fire right now as well, that, coming from a guy named War Master who's probably played Dungeons & Dragons with his basement, probably doesn't have the right to talk about football very much.
I think the guy had a great point, and I'll be honest with you, this went on for a ways. There were multiple comments. I think the guy had a good point, seems to know his shit.
Yep.
I have no problem with it.
Yeah.
It's an interesting name. But aside from that, I'm not going to troll the guy. He knew his shit. But but there's no doubt he's a Titans fan. It was very obvious.
Yeah, well, I'm just going to troll the troll. That's what we got to do.
Absolutely.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
We are the Sportsocracy, and of course, hit that subscribe button. Join us in the community here. Look, we encourage everybody to get involved in all of the comments of the videos. And you know what? If you want to go out and defend yourself or defend Jeremy or any of us in the comments, we will take that as well.
100%. And I love good sports discussion. That's the reason we're doing this.
Yeah.
We're trying to get more people to send comments like this. You can call me an idiot until my dying day.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to be really honest with you. This is as clear and concise as I can be about this. I talk about sports for a living, I have a smoking hot wife, and my life's pretty fucking cool. There's not mean words you're going to say on the interwebs that are going to make me go crawl in a corner and quiet. I promise. You say whatever the hell you want to me. I do not care.
That's right. There is nothing that you can say to us that we haven't already heard before, or that we haven't already said to each other.
Oh, and by the way, if you're going to do it, at least get more original than fat. First of all, I'm the thinnest person on the screen. By a bit. I did notice I got called fat a lot when I'm the narrowest human at this table. And if you say the fat guy, you're going to have to be far more specific.
Yeah, exactly.
There were a few of those that I couldn't figure out who the hell you were talking about because that fat guy doesn't know what he's talking about. There's 3 of us. The only skinny guy in this room is Caleb, and he's the one working the buttons. And producing
I'm a freaking 8-year-old.
Yeah, that just pisses me off.
All right, let's go to Chef Florida Boy.
Oh,
Chef,
here we go.
Chef Florida Boy, speaking of fat guy comments, he says, to the fat dude far right. All right, so we're seeing the screen.
Nope, wrong one.
Far right.
Hold on. I don't remember which one's which.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you read these out of order.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There
I didn't
you go.
realize they were in any order here. To the fat dude far right, so that's got to be you.
Yeah.
To the fat dude far right, how do you know Tevin Jenkins will last a long time?
Oh, yeah?
How do you know Tevin Jenkins will last a long time? Did you not want to break this one up?
No, I was wanting you to read the whole damn thing. It took me 5 minutes to find the damn thing.
Yeah.
Because Tank doesn't understand order.
That's what we call in the business dead air, folks.
That's right. Other 2 know football, Other 2 know football, ESPN big board clown. If Barry Sanders was drafted in the first round, you wouldn't give a team an A. You sounds incredible dumb.
You sounds incredible dumb.
You sounds incredible dumb.
I want the other 2 know what they're talking about.
I love how I'm the guy that only knows the ESPN draft board. The guy that's been scouting the draft for a decade.
I definitely want to get a T-shirt that says "I'm with the fat one."
Yeah,
and have it point to him.
Anybody that would buy a Sportsocracy shirt that says "We sounds incredible dumb," just a hand up in the comments. Yeah. That's all I need to know. I'm the one that makes them. I'll happily do it. Just if you would buy a "We Sounds Incredible Dumb" shirt, I'm all the way down.
Oh, Florida boy.
All right, yeah, I got to break this down.
Break it down.
How do we know Tevin Jenkins will last a long time? We don't know that any of these guys will last a long time. It's a projection. That's what the draft is. That's how the draft works. And what he was commenting on here was my slam of them taking Travis Etienne in the first round. There's a big fuck difference between Travis Etienne and Barry Sanders. You know what else there's a big fuck difference between? 1989 and 2021. There's a huge difference in the NFL. Emmitt Smith, catalyst that won Super Bowls. Name me the last running back that won a Super Bowl for anybody. I'll wait. Not saying you didn't have good ones. Just saying, when was the last time that you looked at a running back and went, that's why you won? Jamal Lewis in 2000 is the best I can do. Yeah, it's the best I got.
Oh, Giants.
Tiki Barber.
Kerry Collins.
G-Baby said he would wear one. It's looking real. It's looking real likely that this "We Sounds Incredible Dumb" is gonna happen.
How arrows that keep pointing with I'm with the fat one, and it just goes 1, 2,
all the way
3,
around.
All the way around.
I do want a sign that says "with the fat one," and it just points to all directions.
One of those crazy signs that go in all different directions.
Right.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy just because the whole Barry Sanders thing is a little bit beyond.
Well, I mean, you had to go back 31 years to find a guy that uses your reference.
Yeah, seriously.
That's a good sign that your point's kind of stupid.
Yeah. There's absolute zero chance that Travis Etienne ends up sniffing Barry Sanders' jockstrap.
Yeah. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not going to hammer this too far. This one made me laugh a lot. If you're going to call me dumb, a guy that got a 1480 on the SATs and did quite nicely. Pretty bright dude. You might want to have somebody read your comment before you post it to make sure it's in English. Because I speak 2 languages, and this was not either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
So
And
there's that.
And I'll be willing to go out on a limb and say, you sounds incredible dumb.
Moving on.
Love you, mean it.
Yes.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Don't forget to hit us up in the comments of each and every video. This is going to be a new staple of the program, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I love doing this. If you throw comments out there, and we're going to do next week when we get away from the draft where I sounds incredible dumb, we're going to take actual, like, the good comments, because there's so many good ones.
Yeah.
There were so many good ones that I couldn't boil them down. Mm-hmm. I've had incredible conversations with people in the YouTube comments where they're throwing shit at me that I'm going to level with you. I don't think anybody knows. You obviously watch every game of your team, every snap, every down, and I'm here for it. I love people like that. I will happily give you a platform. I will happily throw your Twitter handle up on this screen, and we will talk about what you want to talk about. That is kind of the relaunch of the show. Mm-hmm. It's 3 dudes sitting around in their basement talking sports. Guess who the 4th one is?
Yep.
That's the way this works.
Yeah, that's going to be you out there, folks.
Yeah.
Every one of you.
Yeah. And that's how we want to do this.
The Troll Patrol!
Troll Patrol rolling on here in the Sportsocracy. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that thumbs up as well as we're rolling along here.
On that last comment,
oh, God.
I was laughing at Stephen Towle. Grammar's hard.
Yeah.
And Kevin Vick says, oh, and you're not a chef if you're the cook at McDonald's, bruh. Solid burn, Branch. Solid burn. All right, let's go on to Austin. Austin.
You have to tell me what the comment is.
He's talking about Urban Meyer.
Okay.
He says, I think Urban knows way more than you about getting players, so shut up. Obviously, he's talking about Urban Meyer. He doesn't like the fact that you're bashing the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Let me ask you a question. Would you have said that same exact thing about Steve Spurrier, Bobby Petrino, and Chip Kelly? And guess what? They didn't. They didn't at all, and I can prove it. Chip Kelly's first full draft in 2014. Would you like to take a stab at who he took?
God.
Let's hear it.
Marcus Smith, Jordan Matthews, Josh Huff, Jalen Watkins. You know what I gave that draft?
F.
A big ol' F. And guess what? They all sucked.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every last freaking one of them.
Yep.
Let's go to the next year. Nelson Aguilar, Eric Rowe, Jordan Hicks. You know what I gave that draft? A big old D. You know what D stands for? Disc draft sucks dicks. That's what D stands for.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man.
That's the beauty of having done this for a long time, is that I have all of this wealth of information where I can go, I was right and they were wrong. Urban Meyer knows more about football than I will ever know.
No
100%.
doubt.
You know what else Urban Meyer has? Bias. I don't have that. You know why? Because I don't care where these players go. I care about evaluating them, grading them, and being
Right.
A douche.
He's not wrong. Right. I like being right.
Yes, more than life itself.
You know what I don't like is a year removed from when I said Justin Jefferson should have been a second-round pick and he should have been Rookie of the Year. I don't like those.
Yeah.
And I remember them forever.
They, what you like to say, they rent space in your head from the beginning of time.
Bingo.
Right. College coaches coming to the NFL has not worked.
Zach Hurst said Chip Kelly's the only person I've ever given a big old D to. Amy, don't comment on that guy.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Let the hate flow through you. This might be my favorite show we've ever done, by the way.
But
I'm really glad we had this idea.
We already have people saying we should do this more often.
But to the actual topic here, I mean, college coaches have not worked in the NFL. The fact that they were historically. Well, I mean,
and you know what? There's a very simple
when
reason
it comes
for
up to
that.
the exercise of name one, Who's the one name that always comes up?
College coach that's
Jimmy
worked
Johnson.
in the NFL? Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, and Pete Carroll.
Pete
you're talking about
Pete Carroll was a pro
in the
coach
NFL
that worked in college.
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Exactly.
Pete Carroll had worked in the NFL for 15 years
Yeah.
when he took
But
the
I'm
USC
saying those
job.
are the only two that you have to draw the line between college and pro and go, yeah, they were successful in both.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very common. And so you can understand when you have a guy who's been mired in the college game for 35 years and has been, going out and getting every recruit that he ever wanted. And it was so easy to be able to get talent. He could cherry pick the best talent from everywhere. He didn't have to wait in line with, I guess in a sense, you're waiting in line behind Alabama if you're at Ohio
Not really,
State or
because
Florida.
Ohio State was beating Alabama for recruits.
Yeah.
You know what they didn't have to do? Take a whole board and have other teams pick through them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because you build a board and you just go get who you want.
Yep.
That's the big damn difference from college to the NFL. You build this board in the NFL, and there might not be any left when it comes to your pick.
Mm-hmm.
You might be going, I don't know. And I think that's what happened to him in the second round.
Right.
The guy he wanted was gone. He pooped his pants on Travis Etienne because I'll tell you definitively he wanted to take him the first pick of the second round.
Mm-hmm.
That's the way he wanted this to go. And then he tried to trade back from 33 so he could take Tyson Campbell later. And everybody said, we know what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
We know exactly what you're going to do because you're stuck.
Yeah. And it's not, and to be honest with you, I didn't think you actually hammered Jacksonville as much as I
Hell,
thought you
Roy
were
watches
going to.
our show every day. He's a
Yeah.
diehard Jacksonville fan.
Yeah.
Roy, would you care to weigh in and say how I mean, the grade was not necessarily nice, but I did say nice things.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, as somebody, a C's not that bad. As referenced by some of the grammar in the comments, a C is not that bad. It's probably the highest mark some of them ever got in their lives.
Hey, man, C's make degrees, baby. C's make degrees.
But you're trying to piss on our joy here. That's how some Jacksonville Jaguar fans are going at it, and I'm sure that's how Austin is going at this. So we've got Trevor Lawrence coming in the building. We've got Travis Etienne, who set all the records in college football in the ACC, running the football.
Yep.
How is this not going to be good? Well, I just want you to keep in mind how hard it is to build talent in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of very smart guys that have failed.
Right, but as opposed to college, where, as you said, they can go out and get who they want, you can bring in a class of 15 five-star guys, 4 or 5 of them hit out of that group, you got a national championship contender. If you went at that same percentage with all of your draft picks, you're not going to have a very long run in the NFL. If you're just hitting 1 out of every 7 guys, is good. Now, I'm not saying that's the case, and that was anywhere close to the success rate of recruits of Urban Meyer in college. I'm just saying it covers up a lot of the boo-boos that you went out and recruited a guy, he blew up, it never happened, he was highly touted. How many stories do we have? How many 24/7 Sports high school's best prospects list can you go back to over the last 10 years and look at and go, damn, the number 5 quarterback in that class, we never heard a thing about him.
Well, there was even a thing that came out. More than half of the first-round draft picks were less than. They were 3- and 4-star recruits.
Yeah.
I mean, here's the thing, and I want to say this about this comment and then move on to the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you just want us to gargle the giblets of every GM or coach in the NFL, then Sports Talk, we should all box up our shit and walk away.
Yeah.
If it's, well, Urban knows more than you do, okay, then why do any of us talk sports?
Yeah.
Let's just sit around and give over the pants handies to every coach in the NFL, and he knows more than I do. In him I trust. Take a kicker in the 4th round. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Then why would we do this?
Right.
That makes no sense to me.
Right.
On to the next one.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
I don't feel like we should. We're playing that one for Austin because we can't really play it for Ryan Suter. You guys make me laugh the most out of all the analysts, and to boot, some good analysis.
Well, I don't know if I agree with the latter, but I definitely agree with the former, that's actually kind of the goal. We're trying to make you laugh.
Right.
This is the one thing you don't get from Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp and Colin Cowherd and all the others. I am a comedian.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. It's how I got here. Tell jokes. Make them laugh.
Yeah.
Make them laugh.
And
Why I say fuck so much.
am batshit crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fact.
That's
Pretty much.
facts.
Yeah, I mean, if you're coming here for, I got news for you. I can break down every draft prospect. If that's what you're coming here for, that's kind of like going to Whole Foods and looking for a new car. I don't really understand why you would do that. I mean, unless you're going to steal one of them cars, I don't really understand why you would do that.
Right. No, we have our opinions. We're all very strong, opinionated people. We all have our own ideas of what's good and what's not, and we can all agree to disagree. And the fact that the fact that it shows through to everyone else, I like. Because, I mean, hell, go back to old Florida boy. You know, completely hates Jeremy.
Yeah.
Fine.
Likes us.
I mean,
and we're fine with that as well.
Yeah, it's fine.
And when it goes the other way, we're completely fine with it as well. This is the open sphere of ideas here.
Yeah. I mean, we still have a whole bunch of videos to go out about the NFC crates. I can't.
Oh,
yeah.
See what happens.
Oh, yeah. I would wager there will probably be a whole mother, because Jeremy is going on vacation after today. I would wager by next Wednesday, there's going to be a whole slew of new comments for us to talk about.
I can't wait till the Giants fans tell me I'm a freaking idiot because they love Kadarius Toney.
Oh, we've already been asked for it. Justin Parton says he really wants to hear some more of your analysis on the Kadarius Toney pick.
It'll be going out live today when we have the grades for the NFC.
Yep.
Check it out. Subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff on all of our platforms.
Michael Whiteside had said, and Tank is a washed-up celebrity, complete the cycle.
This is what happens to young child stars.
Yeah.
We just hit rock bottom and end up doing a talk show with two other fat guys.
This is usually how it goes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Heavy alcoholic, drugs, maybe a porn or two, celebrity rehab, sitting in between us on a sports talk show. How many times have we seen it?
We wanted Danny Bonaducci, but he was a little too busy.
Never did porn, and y'all should be thankful for
Thank
that.
fucking God.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Y'all should be completely thankful for that.
That would have had less views than our draft covered.
Would have been a real short video too. In many ways.
I could be.
That would have been short. Yeah, that porn would have been shorter than our Seahawks draft video.
Yeah. Oh God. Moving on.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Kenneth Polvent. Polvent? That can't be a real name. Wow, the Dolphins are way better off with Waddle over Sewell. Oh, this one's gonna hurt me. So, according to these Asani opinions, I think he went for asinine.
Asinine was what we're.
But that says Asani.
Where is it?
Right there. These Asani opinions, they should have picked Elijah Moore and Sewell over their most glaring weakness in Jalen Phillips. He just said they didn't get more talented, and then 10 seconds later said they've gotten way more talented. Wow, these guys know nothing. Ha, ha, ha. Gesicki is on the last year of his contract, LOL, as is Durham Smythe. Who the fuck is Durham Smythe?
Backup tight end.
Yeah, we don't give a shit about him. People will watch your show if you actually know what you're talking about. The Broncos were trying to trade up for Phillips. Wow, guys, holy shit, what an embarrassing show. Wow. Well, thank you, Kenneth Polvent.
We relayed that to ESPN. I actually said that. But before we get any further than this, I do have to say this about this comment. This guy and I went back and forth multiple times, and he actually apologized for coming off as a prick, which I did not ask him to do. I respect that. That I respect opinions 100%. You can have your opinion in this show anytime you want to. Mm-hmm. Now, I will say, I got more Dolphins bullshit than I got anything.
Which is insane.
So let me slow this down on what I said about the Dolphins. What I said was, I like what they got. I think they could have done better. Mm-hmm. And here's how it would have gone. You take Sewell at 6. Hell, you could have taken Rashad Bateman at 18 for all I care. Jalen Phillips, I think he's a landmine. I have no problem with the talent. He's one swift blow to the head away from not being in the league anymore because he's already retired once. I did not like Jalen Phillips as a draftable player. Health. I don't like it because I couldn't vet it. UCLA's medical school said, nope. We will not clear him. They're pretty good at stuff. You know, when you have really bad afflictions, they tend to send you to the Mayo Clinic, Duke, and UCLA in Florida. They're pretty smart. Okay, you missed on Jalen Phillips. You could have had Azeez Ojulari in the second round, who I think fits your scheme better and does not have the injury history. That's what I was trying to say. Yes, Miami did well, and I've kissed Miami's ass for 2 years. This has nothing to do with bias. I wanted you to take Penny Sewell because I've graded every player on your line, all of them, and I like them all better sliding down one spot. I like Austin Jackson on the right, Robert Hunt on the inside, and Penny Sewell allowed you to have done that. I feel like the Penny Sewell pick would have actually given you 3 players. Now, that being said, I love Jalen Waddle. Who was my number 1 wide receiver?
Jalen Waddle.
There you go. And it was clear, concise. I said it 100 times.
Yep. Right.
I get why you did it. I'm not knocking you on that. I don't like taking receivers in the top 10. I never have because it does not tend to go well.
Jalen Waddle to me was, I mean, obviously he's a fantastic wide receiver. We all know his capabilities. He's a threat in the return game. He can hit you way downfield and make it hurt. And boy, you give him some open space in the field, you're never going to catch that son of a bitch.
Yeah.
We love Jalen Waddle, but he's also very slight. Yeah. He's also very thin. He's also a guy who I'm afraid that if he does get caught by one of these bigger guys in the NFL, he just might break in half.
Yeah.
My knock's not on the pick. I feel like you're going down a path, and that's your take. What he was bitching at was my take. And I will say this guy had some great points. I mean, phenomenal points. I think he was a little misguided at first as to what it was I was saying. Maybe I didn't say it well. I have no problem with the pick of Jalen Waddle. I think Jalen Phillips is super risky. I think Javon Holland went a little early. I like Liam Eichenberg. The Hunter Long pick. If Gesicki's not back in a year, more power to you. I just feel like that's losing an asset for nothing. I feel like you drafted an asset you already had. When you're as good as the Dolphins are, I get why you would do that. No qualm. I loved Hunter Long. I mean, my God, I don't think I talked about any player more than I talked about Hunter Long. Am I right or am I wrong?
Absolutely.
It's not a qualm with that. Yeah. All I was saying is I think you could have done better. Now, to this guy, I 100% respect this guy that he came in. The end of our conversation, after he had basically called me an idiot 3 times, which is totally fine. He subscribed and liked the videos and respected what we did and all that. That is how I would love every one of these interactions to go. Yeah. I would 100% love every one of those interactions to go this way. Yeah. And you know why? Because that's what, I referenced this on our ESPN show the other day. One of the things that got us started on this trajectory was I once had somebody in a bar tell me they would take Reggie Wayne over Randy Moss. Yeah. Which is one of the dumbest things I've ever heard out loud. And I said some bad things. I said some bad words, and I said some bad names and shit like that. And if that's how you feel about what we say, 100% fire it back at us. Yeah. We'll put you on the show. We'll put your take on the show. I'm good with that. This is not a, hey, let's mock the guy who can't spell or any of that shit. No. Now, why so many people can't spell, I don't know. I've never figured that out. But I like having these opinions. I like people driving the show. That's the reason it's called the Democratic Republic of Sports. Yeah.
And can we talk about how Durham Smythe sounds like the alter ego of every Marvel villain that ever fucking walked the face of a comic book?
Absolutely. Yeah. Durham Smythe, he definitely ran some kind of a cover operation, like a tax office maybe that was hiding all of Kingpin's money. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know who Durham Smythe is. DC no, I was just taking exception to the first sentence of the comment of the Dolphins are way better off with Waddle over Sewell. I disagree firmly because I don't think I think there's a greater chance that Waddle doesn't last long.
Well, you're talking to a table full of people that think Penei Sewell's a high-level tackle, and that's because they're one of the reasons for that is we watched the tape on it. Yeah. The other is the draft analyst at the table's been screaming it from the rooftops for 3 months. Yeah. It's kind of hard to sit next to me for 3 months, and listen to that, and it not eventually rub off on you. If I'm wrong on Penny Sewell, I'm wrong on Penny Sewell. Here's what I'll tell you. At 19 years old, he was flattening 22 and 23-year-old defensive ends in the Pac-12.
Yep.
Yeah.
And nobody else did that. Walker Little didn't do that. A lot of other guys that got drafted in the NFL that played in the Pac-12, they didn't do that. So, you know, it's compare one to the other. I just liked Penny Sewell better.
Yeah.
He was the third highest rated prospect on my board. It was Trevor Lawrence, Kyle Pitts, Penny Sewell. And then there was a huge drop off from 3 to 4.
Yeah. And Chris Edenfield says in the comments, we also, sorry, it skipped on me. He said that Ike gives them the same ability to make the slide that you were talking about on the offensive line. So talking about Liam Eichenberg?
Yeah. And I like Eichenberg. I like Eichenberg better on the right side than I do on the left. I think he can play on the left, but then it gets into which one's better, Austin Jackson or Eichenberg.
Yeah.
I don't think the ceiling on Eichenberg is that high.
Right.
So Penny Sewell has the ceiling of Jonathan freaking Ogden.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how high it gets.
Right. But compare the two. You're comparing Penny Sewell to Liam Eichenberg.
Yeah.
To me, they're not the same. I mean, they're both tackles. They both play football. But that's about where the comparison ends for me. That's how much I feel better about Penny Sewell. And I like Liam Eichenberg. What's the one thing I said through all the draft coverage?
That's a legitimate left tackle.
Yeah, and there's the one thing that you can always trust in the draft, and it's Notre Dame linemen.
Yeah.
They just churn out great lineman after great lineman. I like Liam Eichenberg. That was a great cover your ass move after you passed on Penny Sewell. I'm just looking at the difference between the guys, and that's exactly what we said in the video. If you compare the difference between the tackle that you got and Penny Sewell, and then compare the wide receiver that you got with the wide receiver that you could have had, we liked the upgrade at tackle better than any downgrade that you were going to see at wide receiver.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just plain and simple. But Kenneth Polvent, we appreciate your comment.
Yeah.
Welcome into the Sportsocracy family. And we look forward to having many, many, many more conversations with you in the future.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
All right, and, Sloan Jordan, Jeremy, wanted to be the smuggest bastard during this segment. Yeah, that's pretty much his MO all the time. Props to him for keeping the smirks to a minimum. Side note, the obvious cuts being Lewis, Griffin, and Crowder.
Alex Lewis, Ryan Griffin, Jamison Crowder.
Yeah, would free up, what, $18 million? I think we take that.
100%. The reason I put this one in was it was the only person that gave me credit for not being completely insufferable with the Jets, the way he has been with the Buccaneers for 4 months. I also want to say, another thing I want to say about this guy. This is a guy that actually found me on Twitter.
Yeah.
And said some super nice things, and I love that.
Yeah.
I love talking sports, and I will 100%. I am the one that responds on my Twitter. I don't have, no matter what. The YouTube comments is not always one of us. The Instagram comments are not always one of us. The one way you can guarantee that the person responding to you is me is Twitter, at Greene ESPN. And the only thing I ask is if you're going to tell me to get killed in a car wreck, at least follow me first so you can see the pictures if it actually happens.
Oh, God. So bad.
It's not the first time I've said that.
I know.
I've been told to do some things that are A, graphic, B, anatomically impossible.
Yeah.
I cannot fuck myself. If I could, I would not be here right now.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah.
They ain't
Sloan
no doubt.
Jordan, thank you for agreeing with Jeremy's smugness. We wanted to make sure we plant that out there because we appreciate Jeremy's smugness.
Well, of course we do. And we encourage Jeremy's smugness because Jeremy's smugness leads him down the path of insanity. And that's why, I've done this time and time again, and I think probably other than Jeremy's ex-wives, I'm probably the best at being able to get him to be pissed off than anybody else on the planet.
It's fantastic.
And I know, and that's the thing, is like I'm playing second level chess here with Jeremy's smugness and his anger, because when he gets super smug, then I know I can get him riled up. And that is when we have fantastic, memorable shows for all of you to enjoy.
Now, hold on, and I have to say this, because literally, since we've been sitting here, Kenneth Polvent has replied. And it says, the Sportsocracy, hey, you guys are awesome. Thanks for the response. Nothing but love and respect. Keep up the great work, my brothers. That's how this goes.
Yep.
That's the definition of how this goes.
Yep.
You know what? We're sending that guy something.
Yeah.
I don't know what. We'll look into the inventory closet of things.
I think we should probably send him a "You Sounds Incredible Dumb" shirt.
Oh, 100%. He's not the one that said that, though.
No, he's not. But I'm saying, since that's the hot new thing going, Alex Sander,
incredible dude.
Alex Sander just can't wait to get all of the "You Sounds Incredible Dumb" merch.
Yeah.
And I'm right there with him. I can't wait to see it.
It's going to be awesome.
Although I do like his idea, apparently, of a talking T-shirt you're talking about? He wants a T-shirt that says "You Sounds Incredible Dumb," and he wants that to be a sound on the show. Okay.
We can make that happen.
Look, I've seen those shirts that have the little. Have you seen those? Some shirts have the little speaker in them that play sounds.
It's kind of like the freaking card that opens up and starts playing. Like, I gotta. Yeah, I got a pocket full of sunshine.
I'm guessing that was the particular song in that.
Yeah,
card.
it's from a movie. Easy A. It's
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
I love her so much.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see her as Cruella DeVille.
It's gonna be pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Jeremy has no idea what we're talking about.
Zero, and that's
all
fine.
these A-list celebrities. He doesn't know who they are until they marry Aaron Rodgers.
I still don't know her name. I just know her as Mrs. Aaron Rodgers.
I just call her the pregnant teenager because that was the show that I first saw her on.
Yeah.
The Secret Lives of an American Teenager. Ugh.
Yeah.
God, I still hate my wife for making me watch that show.
That's okay, I think.
Anywho.
You made her watch worse, I'm sure.
Anywho, all right.
She's let you crawl on top of her for 17 years. She can make you watch birthing videos of people you don't know, and you should just shut the fuck up and take it.
Two seals fighting over a fish.
She already did that once. Oh, no. I mean, really? I mean, there's a chance she could be watching. I mean, I get it when you make a joke about me, but damn, don't go there, bro.
I forgot that Mama Tank was in the comments earlier.
That's what I was laughing at.
Oh, God.
Oh, I think oh, boy.
Oh, God.
Oh, I'm glad I wasn't taking a sip of my lovely drink as that was happening.
Yeah.
In retrospect.
No. That was one of my biggest freakouts, actually. Walking through the Museum of Science on our honeymoon. Mm-hmm. We went to Boston and spent the whole week, and we went to the Museum of Science.
Yeah.
And we had just gone to Uno's and had the best, deep dish pizza I'd ever eaten. And I had a piece, and I'm carrying it around in the little container around the Natural Science Museum. And as she disappears, I can't find her.
Uh-huh.
And finally, I found her, and she's sitting in this little enclave that's got benches in.
Uh-huh.
And I went, okay, well, I'll sit down here. I'm getting kind of hungry. I'll have my little piece of pizza that I got left over here. So I sit down and I open it up, and then all of a sudden, a video comes on, a complete 180 TV screen around this circular area. And I shit you not, it was a birthing video.
Oh, God.
And it was I had no idea that I had just walked into the wonders of motherhood section. And as I'm taking my piece, it just goes, baby coming out. I was like, oh, shit. I couldn't eat it. I had to throw the damn pizza away. I got pissed off.
It's the first time Tank's thrown food away in his life.
No doubt. No doubt. I could have dropped that shit on the Boston subway and I would have picked it up and ate it. I couldn't stomach anything after seeing that birthing video that was bigger than an IMAX screen. Ugh. So disgusting.
All right, this has been fun.
It has been fun.
This has been fun. It's been cathartic. I've enjoyed it greatly.
Yeah.
Are you ready to go do other things now?
Mainly just,
Lunch.
Lunch. The birthing video really got Jeremy excited about eating.
This is the part of the day where all of our stomachs at one point go, and then we all look at each other and say, so, what about lunch?
What do we think about that lunch?
And then about 10 minutes later, it said, so has anybody thought about that lunch? And then 10 minutes later, it's, we need to get the freaking lunch!
I'm actually surprised you guys didn't wait until we got off air this time to mention the lunch.
Yeah.
It's getting worse and worse as the days go by.
I mean, and I would be remiss if I didn't point blank ask the question, so what about that lunch?
Yeah.
Where are we feeling about that lunch? I've been up since 5:30. So
Sorry, Tank. We're not all sitting over here skinny motherfuckers. It's been past. We don't eat very early in the morning. We're not kind of guys that wake up, get breakfast, walk around the house. We're like, hey, let's get to the studio.
Roll out of bed,
suffer through an hour
coffee.
of talking to us unsufferable assholes, and then let's talk about the real thing we're here for, and that is to get extremely fat and eat as many goddamn cheeseburgers as humanly possible in a 5-minute span.
That needed 3.
Yeah.
By the way, before we get out of here, we do have a winner for the Wicked Weed Beer for a year.
Awesome.
I have sent the correspondence, so if you, whatever your email is that's linked to your YouTube account, check that. If you don't see an email, you were not the first winner. If I don't hear a response within 24 hours, we'll do it again.
Yeah.
I was going to do it live because I actually sent it out yesterday in the hopes that I would get the response before the show today.
Right.
But we will have a winner for a free Wicked Weed Beer for a year.
Right.
Yeah.
Check your emails, and we'll have a lot more enthralling sports talk this afternoon on ESPN Asheville. The Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app. We're going to get into the Aaron Rodgers trade discussions.
Packages.
What trade packages could you put together? Also, there are a lot of holes left on teams after the draft, and so we're going to go over the free agents that are still available out there and what moves that your teams. I know you do. And what moves your team could make to fill those holes before the season starts. We are, of course, the Sportsocracy. Follow, like, and share on all of the social medias as you see below us. Now I got to learn this. It's over here. It's over here. Right there. Subscribe and follow everywhere you can. Hit that subscribe button, of course, here on YouTube. Share it out with your friends as well. We'll be back here tomorrow morning. Well, Jeremy and I will not be here tomorrow morning. We're going to take a couple of days off. And
we are cooked after the draft.
Yeah, we're gonna
a summer ham that you just forgot to check.
We're going to turn this ship over the next 2 days to Brian Haynes. And, of course, Caleb Peak will be in here as well. I think Tommy's going to make an appearance as well. So we're going to leave it in their hands. We will see you coming up on Monday right here in the Sportsocracy, 9-ish.
9-ish Monday morning, we will also be announcing our Patreon. That's one of the things I'm going to work on over the weekend. So there is some cool stuff in this. If you have any ideas of things you would like to see in that, feel free to send them to me at JGreenESPN on Twitter. And some of you have my cell phone number.
Yep.
Guess you found it on a women's bathroom stall somewhere. Not that hard to find. But yeah, just if there's something you would like to see, relay it to me, and we will be announcing that on Monday.
Yep, love all the T-shirt ideas that are coming in the comments as well. We'll get cracking on them so we can make them available to all of you. Don't forget, of course, hit that subscribe button. Hit us up on social media. Any questions, comments, anything like that. Remember, we want you to play the producer role on this show. So anything you want Brian and Caleb to talk about tomorrow, hit them up as well, or just again leave it in the comments. We are live every weekday morning right here 9-ish in the Wicked Weed studio. Check out our friends at wickedweedbrewing.com. Wicked Weed Brewing, drink different.